I swear to God.
You know what doesn't suck?
Transformers 1.
1.
And
Fantastic
10
movie.
out of 10.
10, well,
Wait.
yeah, 10 out of
Really?
10.
Wait,
no, 10 out of
say
10.
that again?
10 out of 10.
Wait, say that again?
10 out of 10.
No, before.
I don't know what I said.
Fantastic.
Say that again?
Man.
Dog.
Let's get into it.
This movie was a movie.
All right.
It was fantastic.
Leading up to the movie, first trailer. Let's talk about that. First.
Say that again?
He did that.
It was quite honestly amazing. Spider-Man.
Wait,
I think it's by far and away the
That shit was
best
spectacular.
Transformers movie.
Yes. I agree.
I think that,
I haven't watched Transformers the movie from G1 in a while.
I
Gabe swears by it.
that's.
Jalen's
I
never
haven't
seen it.
I've never seen it.
I think right now I would rank Transformers 1 and 86 right below it. And Dark of the Moon is.
Dark of the Moon and then Bumblebee. Too.
I feel like this movie is well above Dark of the Moon.
Really.
I would agree.
Yeah.
In that sense as well. I liked it better than any of the live
Really
action
the only
ones,
thing that
by
Dark
a
of the
pretty
Moon has-
significant margin.
Really, the only thing that Dark of the Moon has is just the greatest
The ending.
spectacle
The ending is.
in all the Bayverse, which is why it's so far and away. It also has like sort of the best story,
Yes.
besides for Transformers 1, 2007.
But this is a Transformers 1 review.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like just genuinely from the beginning, like when they started, like the vibe,
Not to spoil anything, but yeah, there's the vibe. Just,
like it's
It
there.
felt like a Lego movie.
Orion. I give it. Yeah. You said
I
it
mean,
earlier.
he means vibe wise.
In the way of like the Lego movie, like it's a kids movie, but anyone can enjoy it. And it's there's stuff for everyone.
And
Where a
it's-
lot of kids films are just shit. All
And it's
around.
funny. Like a lot of kids
It
movies
is
aren't funny to adults, but this is technically a kids movie, but it's still funny.
Well, there was things like they cussed. I mean, like, well, like
a little bit.
a little bit. There was a little bit of cussing, and like that's not.
I'm not sure if it's PG or
Badass.
PG-13, but still.
It's there was enough cursing for it to make me feel like okay. I think they used maybe one too many bad words for it to be like PG. So
PG,
I feel like
I
it's
think
got to
it
be
was
PG-13.
PG-13.
But that I feel like it only benefited from that.
Yeah, I mean
Because-
that's what every Transformers fan would prefer.
It wasn't like little kiddish at all. I feel like I got everything I wanted from it. Like
yeah,
in terms
I feel
of
like
just,
this is what literally every Transformers fan has been begging for, a movie on Cybertron.
mm-hmm.
All about Cybertron, the Autobots and the Decepticons, no human characters,
and that's
what we got.
something like Cybertron looked amazing
Beautiful.
in this movie.
Yes.
Like I feel like the most lifelike Cybertron has ever looked, at least from my experience. I mean, you know, they kind of made it look more like more like kind of like Earthish almost, like with like the skylines and like the nature-ish.
Yeah,
And like rocks. I mean, it's very clearly still a different planet and it's still Cybertron, but like, I know they kind of humanized it a little bit.
like the surface.
Yeah.
The surface. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the surface. Specifically the surface. Like, that's some, well.
It's in trailers.
Yeah.
You've seen-
You
you've
guys
seen it.
know what it looks like, but once they get like to the surface, it kind of looks
Yeah.
More organic.
more organic. Yeah.
In a way, I feel like they did that on purpose for later films to be able to introduce people a little bit easier.
To the Cybertron.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Dinobots, I feel like could very easily be shoehorned to be surface dwellers. To one
Badassatron.
That's what the movie was.
The characters in the movie, all of them, like I was fucking
Genuinely,
with,
the
like,
whole main cast and even the side characters were amazing. I'm trying to think of my favorite character right now.
Well, first off, Orion Pax was amazing. You know, I thought I was gonna really miss the fact that Peter Cullen wasn't voicing him, but I feel like Chris Hemsworth did a pretty good job overall. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
overall,
You don't think about it too much because he's Orion Pax for
Yeah.
most of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
overall,
even
he feels like Orion.
yeah,
He doesn't feel like Optimus, and I feel like that's a good thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely a good
It's-
thing. He's,
He's
not,
not
Optimus
a
yet.
leader yet.
it's like the Batman, where he's not really Bruce Wayne. Doesn't have the
It's
persona
well, like yeah,
yet.
it's the origin
It's the
story.
origin story, but the next movie you can tell that's going to be Optimus Prime, and you can, in the end, you really feel Optimus coming out of it. You know,
Like Optimus, the entire movie. Well, Orion, like he sort of grows into that leader position. Well, I feel like D16, the Megatron was like direct foil. Like they're kind of both like.
They're both on the same journey, they're two sides
in
of the
opposite
same coin.
directions. Yeah, and I feel like they did a really good job of reflecting that. And there's one scene in particular where it's just like,
If you've seen that it's as good as like Leap of Faith from Across the Spider-Verse,
I would say that's not an exaggeration.
I wouldn't either.
I would say it
There
rivals
is a
it.
certain
And you
point.
know how we feel about Spider-Man. So that's like some high praise. Like I don't know if you guys.
I don't know if you see this.
Yeah, but we've got a big Spider-Man thing, and then I mean obviously we're big Transformers fans too. But
Yeah.
I mean yeah, look at Spider-Man back here.
Yeah.
But
I
You
think
should see our bathroom.
honestly, I really D16 was really not stealing the show for me, but he was really my favorite throughout the movie.
well I just like their friendship. Like
It's really just you know what's coming, and it's sad.
It's like
Yeah.
watching the prequels
Yeah.
for Star Wars. You
It's-
know he's about to turn into Darth Vader, but it's like
Yeah.
the journey to get
Mhm.
there
It's
is
like-
awesome.
It's beautiful,
Mhm.
honestly.
I really thought Bumblebee was going to be really annoying going into the film. I was like, he just looks like a
I
he's
love
supposed to
it's
be.
well
It's
He's amazing in
it's
it.
yeah no I thought he was
I
hilarious.
did think he would get annoying.
Bumblebee
at
was
first.
I think the funniest in the movie.
He didn't overdo a joke once, which
Yeah.
I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Alita was bad. She was
Alita
fucking
1
badass.
was badass.
She was badass.
Her transformation was pretty cool.
She
went
sorta-
hard too. She was kicking ass.
She sort of serves as like the leader position from the moment you like see her, and
This
then
is true.
Optimus kind of fills in her gaps, and then they are
They're-
very good. What's the word? Not
Oh.
foil dynamics with each other. They complement each other very well.
Alita and Optimus or Orion, very good duo.
Mhm.
I feel like they definitely needed each other, and I feel like the crew, like the core four, yeah, the core four were pretty fire. In this
They were
movie.
all funny. They were all actually had characters to them. You know, they had their own arcs.
Mhm.
I honestly feel like Alita had, besides her like the final fight, the coolest fights in the show, and not the show in the movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
she had two of like the coolest scenes in the movie.
But
B had some
was-
pretty sick moments, and Optimus obviously had his
well, he's
moments.
yeah.
Um,
And Megatron. Oh
They-
my God. Megatron.
Everybody, like
Guys,
I'm
you
telling
are
you,
in the
everybody has their moments in this film. I feel like
Yes.
it doesn't fall short for anybody, and even like the cameos. The cameos are
I'm
on
not going to
point
spoil any.
in this. Yeah, we won't spoil any, but
But
they were on point in
they're-
this movie as
if-
well.
If you
If
like,
they're your favorite character,
they're probably
look at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if
If
you
you
have
like
if you have an obscure Transformer, he might be somewhere in the background. It's very exciting. Like if you are a Transformers fan, you'll be watching the movie and you'll be like, oh my god, like. There's that, there's
Yeah.
that, and like a lot of cameos and a lot of stuff that you kind of just need to like Easter eggs, stuff you
Yeah.
need to look out for, and I thought that was really fun. I had a lot of fun. Again, I'm still pretty new to Transformers, but I was still looking around like, oh my gosh, here's
That's
this,
that's
this.
that. You know.
Yeah.
There's only like 4 name drops of like well-known Transformers besides for like
Autobots.
anyone like who's like a main character in the film.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say Autobots. Yeah, I feel like we.
And who they chose to do that with, very makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
They're
Mhm.
the Autobots. You know.
Yeah.
And
Although
I feel like
they did miss one.
They did miss a very, they missed a very cool movie.
Yeah. We'll get to that later.
like I liked the way they presented this one to us. Like it's pretty traditional like Transformers lore, but like I feel like the way it was explained to us and sort of thrown at us in the movie will make it easy for like even new fans to sort of watch the movie and understand what's going on.
I really hope that they do not go to Earth like anytime soon. At least for like 6 movies.
I want
hate,
Earth should be movie 4 at the earliest, or at the end of movie 3.
If they make 4 of these movies, that'll probably when they get. I feel like the main focus is the point is like they're supposed to be on Cybertron. There's not
Yeah,
a lot of
honestly,
Cybertron.
I hope they don't just like go to Earth like this movie.
I feel like they would end the franchise going to Earth. They
Well,
wouldn't actually go
there's
to Earth.
generally a huge time gap before they like after they leave Cybertron
Yeah, there's so
and
much
they
time. There's so much things they need
yeah
to do.
arrive on Earth. So I feel like it would make much sense to
Yeah.
sort of end up on Earth after the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Or
It has to be a
anytime soon.
really long time skip too.
Mhm.
Because this is the beginning of the war.
It hasn't even started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole different war going on right
Mm-hmm.
now. Or
Whole nother war, yeah.
yeah.
And I feel like from start to finish, It's a really clean story, and like it's not necessarily like unpredictable, but I feel like
if you're a Transformers fan,
it's
you
engaging.
sort of know what's going to happen, but still, there's some subtle things that you don't really know what's going to happen, or like how it's going to get there. Because like obviously we all know who Sentinel Prime is, but
we all know Sentinel Prime's a
but seeing what happens in the movie is just, I don't know how to explain.
It's really
describe
cool.
it.
Like I said, like it's its own continuity, so they kind of like have their own way of how things
Telling
play
it.
out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something. Sentinel, he's pretty fire in the movie
He
as
was
well.
funny.
I love.
He was funny and he was sick.
Yeah. Oh, and that's something like I loved his design, and I feel like that's sort of universal. I was like throughout the movie, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, Sentinel was
Yeah, like everybody's designs, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't think there was one design that I didn't like.
Besides for G1, it's definitely.
Yeah.
And even like the
And you can-
cameos that you see, I was like looking at the cameos and I was like, he looks sick. Like there was one specific character that I was looking at and I was like, oh my god, like he looks good.
And it's also cool because most of the Autobots, we all know this, don't really have their cogs yet. So seeing like how they're kind of a generic bot, but you can still tell that's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really
It's it's kind of like premature like Autobots.
Yeah.
almost.
They do a very good job of when spoiler.
We'll say it. We'll cut that.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of when they do get their cogs. They don't look completely different bots. They like keep the same like principles and like elements to them, and just like make them better.
Magnify it.
Magnify it.
Right.
Make them look cooler.
Well, you guys have seen what Optimus and Megatron look like in Orion Pax and D16, and you can tell they're the same character, but just advanced.
Right. And one thing I feel like I kept looking at throughout the movie was just the animation in general. The animation was beautiful.
There was no
I feel like Spider-Verse is all like artsy. They're throwing like all like this really specific type of like different styles all one. Like it's like one,
especially two.
One specific really nice refined like animation style throughout the entire movie.
But everyone gets their own. Not everyone, but Megatron really gets his own distinct little thing. Also, just the story was engaging throughout. Like I was never bored. I was never like, all right, can we move to another scene right now?
Yeah.
I was always kind of wanted to stay there longer.
The lore is there. The humor is there. The hype is most definitely there.
The fights are there.
The fights, fantastic.
IGN, if you're watching this,
Fuck you.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 is kind of just
It's insane.
unbelievable for this movie.
I have never and will never listen to IGN for any advice ever, because they
They're like,
know nothing.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Well, don't take it from IGN. Take it from
Sponsor
us.
us,
Yeah, take it. IGN sponsor us. Take it from us. I think we're pretty unanimous on the fact that it is a 10 out of 10 movie.
I don't think you could put this movie under.
Yeah, in good conscience, it's.
If you don't like Transformers,
like,
it's a 9.
For some people,
I feel like my mom could go to this movie and she would love it.
For some people, it won't be a 10. For us, for a true Transformers fan, I feel like that's where it should be.
Yeah.
This is everything good about fan service in a film.
He's correct because it's
forced.
a Transformers movie. Why are there like others? There's only like 5 Autobots. Why is that? You know?
It's not forced at all.
We're on
There's
everyone's there.
After starting G1, you just notice like how many characters there really are in Transformers, and like you don't get a lot of them when
Outside
you're watching
of G1. There's usually like a core 5 to 8 cast.
Yeah.
And you have to watch multiple different series to even diverge from that.
Yeah,
Even
and
by
gain
core.
another character a new season. But G1 starts off with 20 Autobots, 20 Decepticons.
Yeah, and I feel like not all of the Transformers are utilized in this movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like
They set them
there's a
up.
lot of potential for them to appear in the future installations. Like I do expect like a sequel at least.
Oh,
At least one sequel.
I'm expecting 2. I feel like this movie sets it up for
Trilogies
two.
trilogies are usually the cleanest.
Yeah.
But there should at least definitely be one sequel. Because there, it's not a spoiler, but there were post-credit scenes.
Yes,
So-
there is 2 post-credit scenes, so wait for those.
And that
First
practically
one's
confirms the sequel status.
First one's
for
just a
it.
comedy. The second one actually
It's actually pretty
is
sick.
set shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of my favorite character in the movie right now. and
It's hard because they're all so good.
it's between Optimus and Megatron.
Well, yeah, that's who they want you to focus on is, well, Orion Pax and D16.
Mm-hmm.
And
Decepticons.
and that's really what like at the core of this movie it's about them.
Mm-hmm.
So like
And
if
it,
you're
it genuinely is kind of just sad thinking or knowing everyone knows what's going to happen at the end, and it's kind of sad knowing that's happening throughout the movie, you know.
But I feel like it's just done so well
They did
that
it
it
very
just
well.
I feel like I actually feel like that's the only thing that could have improved. Megatron turning into Megatron could have been a little bit slower and a little bit cleaner. Because at one point he just kind of switches up out of nowhere for no reason.
What the Sigma?
And then
I wouldn't
I don't
say
think
for
it's
no
for that.
reason.
I-
I would
Not for no
definitely
reason.
not say for no
I think-
reason.
But it's
I think
very drastic to the point where you're like, you're kind of.
I
crazy
think it's
for this.
understandable. I feel like if I were in that situation, I mean, I wouldn't react the same as Megatron, but I feel like it's understandable
But
to have
he's acting
type
that
of-
way towards Orion too, which is like crazy.
He's acting that way towards the world.
I
You know?
I don't think it's out of nowhere. I think it's very valid. Megatron feels that way, but I think
agree.
it is a
It's
little
really-
quick. Like,
Yes.
he goes a little too far, too quick.
Which
Yes.
is a big
But
like character
it's,
trait of
it's
Megatron.
So I don't think
Yeah.
it's overdone. I think they
don't,
did it well.
I don't think it's overdone either because the entire movie they're sort of hinting. Like I mean, in the beginning, even when they are friends, they sort of hint. You're like, okay, it's a little weird for him to like feel that way about like. I just felt like his personality. There were some things where like they sprinkled in.
It's
where
very vast from Megatron in the beginning. He's very
yeah, he's not Megatron.
yeah.
Like
He's almost passive in a way. I think the ending is one of the strongest endings in ever.
yeah,
Very strong.
Yes, the
I
ending
know
is
that's a
really
stupid
very
thing to
strong.
say, but you guys will love that ending if you're a Transformers fan, even if you're just not even really a fan.
Unless you're at IGN.
Just the entire third act was just straight hype and peak, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I literally
There's
like,
a
we have the
switch.
reclinable seats at our theater, and I pushed them up to sit up straight. So
Yeah, me too. I had it up, but my legs were out of it. There's a certain scene when Orion Pax is giving a speech, and it just feels like Optimus.
right,
And it
Then you
really
can
just gets you.
you
gets
feel the
hyped.
transition. Yeah,
All right, guys, if you don't want to get spoiled on the movie,
this is the point to click off. We did want to talk about like our favorite scenes and like the most important.
but before that, 10 out of 10 movie. Definitely recommend. See it when it comes out, so we can get another one.
yes, please.
See it twice.
If this doesn't do well in the box office, I am going to personally
That would genuinely
knock on every person's door who went to see it and
Thank them.
thank them.
And then
And
go
then
to their
kill
neighbors.
the
and-
rest of
and
the
Go kill the rest of the people.
yeah. So then the
We're
population.
sounding like Megatron right now.
I'm
Then
repping
everyone-
Decepticons today.
Then everyone in the population would want a second one.
Yeah.
His arm cannon
was
was so cool. Was so cool.
So the beginning.
His upgraded arm cannon made me like cringe.
Let's not even go through it. Let's just go.
Yeah,
through
I
our
was gonna
favorite
say
moments.
Well, like
Okay,
before they transformed, before they had their cogs, and that's sort of something that happens later on in the movie. They get their cogs.
From Primes too, which is crazy. Very
I
cool.
want to say that this scene where Alpha Trion was showing the past battle with the Primes was really awesome.
It didn't feel like an exposition dump either. It just felt like
Because the
it
fight
felt like
was-
world building.
The fight was
World building.
fight was
badass,
sick.
and Megatron was going insane. Like
Mhm.
the Megatron Prime.
Megatronus.
Was it Megatron? Is it Megatron?
Mhm.
Yeah, Megatronus
Megatronus
Prime.
Prime
was going like absolutely insane, and I really like that they make it like a point that Megatronus was the strongest Prime
Mm-hmm.
because it comes in later when Sentinel has the cog and Megatron takes it from him and becomes that much stronger, you know, and becomes Megatron.
I was gonna say though, like at the beginning, like before they get their cogs, there was the Iacon 5000.
The Iacon was
And
so
that was a
satisfying.
scene that I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Because I mean it just shows like how big
difference.
and like how much they need those
The
those
cogs.
parts.
and
like
it's just so fucked that Sentinel would take it. And I had a feeling that would happen.
yeah,
Like
spoiler.
everyone going,
Sentinel's a
everyone going into the movie knows Sentinel. He's a
Yeah,
bitch ass.
if you're
He's a
if you know anything about Transformers, yes,
They really try to convince you
But
otherwise in the first
Because
half
he's
of the
funny.
film.
He's
He's
really
funny
funny
as
and
hell.
he's
He's
really
cool.
and his
like-
design, like I said, his design's really good.
Really, the only hint you get that he's like kind of a dipwad is that Arachnid is his right hand man.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
well, like immediately I was like,
that's
Arachnid.
What are we doing?
Like that's not. Like she looks suspicious. She didn't even look good.
She looks despicable. She was a fucking problem throughout the film.
Yeah, until Alita 1 put her in the place.
Alita 1 did her
Put her in her fucking place. Alita 1 was 5, by the way.
Alita 1 was 5.
I think she was my favorite.
Really?
Besides for
Really?
Optimus and Megatron.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean,
she was the only other one that really got a big fight besides Optimus.
It really is just the main 4.
Yeah. Well, because like Bumblebee didn't really fight anybody.
Not anybody big.
Alita 1 got.
I mean, Alita and Bumblebee were fighting someone at the same time, and they had a pretty cool like combo scene.
That was cool. I remember that when she like hit him into the knives.
Well, when they were fighting Megatron. This is spoiler territory. You can talk about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And they got dogged. It's really
that just it shows the difference. Like Megatron.
Megatron big Starscream was amazing.
Oh my god! And
Oh.
you really get to understand why Starscream
Just hate.
hates him
Yeah.
so
And Starscream
much.
was the
Just
leader.
you see like all the Seekers, and the Seekers they look
They're menacing,
so
especially in the
menacing.
beginning.
Yes.
Like when you first see them, they take out all 4 of the guys.
I like their dynamic though, as them just being like, you really get to see like Megatron in his like gladiatorial state, because that's the lore for a lot of
Yeah, he's a
Megatron.
gladiator.
That's
Yeah.
why he's a gladiator.
Mhm.
That's why he's so powerful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's also cool that they were the guards. They were the prime. They're like the
The elite guard.
the
elite
elite
guard.
guard for the primes. So
And that just
that
makes
sort
so
of
much
like makes
sense.
sense like why they're so strong.
why they be
Because
on the upper
I mean,
world,
like
they know.
they really do explain like the formation of the Decepticons and the Autobots like really nicely because like
Decepticons are bitch and Autobots a lot of the time because
Like,
they
okay.
are trained.
so the Autobots essentially are
Well, yeah,
all of the
miners.
miners that like they'll introduce you to a good amount of them at the beginning.
There's Jazz.
Like,
Iron
It's
all
cool.
of
I know
us
Jalen was freaking out when
about
he-
Jazz. That's who I was
I
talking
saw Sunstreaker. You know me, Sunstreaker.
Sideswipe was there.
Let's just name off people. Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, Jazz, Wheeljack.
Ratchet got name dropped.
Ratchet was in it. Prowl was in it.
Prowl was in it.
Ironhide was
Yeah.
in
I
it.
didn't see Ratchet.
They
Ratchet
okay.
was there a few times with Ironhide.
They have
No,
Like,
they said Dr. Ratchet. So he already has a cog. I'm
No,
pretty sure, and he was
I
just in
think
the
he's just a
medical ward.
doctor.
you could just be a doctor.
Without a cog, I thought the only
Well,
cogless ones were miners.
Alita 1 wasn't a
Not
They
necessarily.
got changed to another position, remember?
Right, Ironhide, Jazz,
Nothing,
Ratchet,
doesn't
Prowl, old Sunstreaker, Sideswipe,
Hound,
Ironhide, Hound. I
Um,
think I saw Brawl
RC,
or Brawn.
Braun. Yeah, Braun was in it. RC was in it.
RC looked cool.
Red Alert was in it. And you've seen most of these guys in the trailer.
I didn't
so-
see Hot Rod.
Well, Hot Rod's not going to show up till way later. He's a younger bot.
We saw Skywarp for a second. He was in it for like.
I'm sure
a
Thundercracker
millisecond.
was there too. They didn't really focus on those two. I was hoping they would a little more.
Yeah, of the Elite Guard, it was really only Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave.
Which makes sense. They're the main ones. But in the Icon race, I definitely saw. I didn't see them, but the name
The
Mirage.
names. You have to watch out
Motormaster-
for the names for sure.
Motormaster. I saw. I think I saw Drag Strip.
I saw
Um,
Swindle.
Jalen saw Swindle. I think I saw. I heard Jetfire. I'm pretty sure.
I saw Jetstorm.
Or it might have been Jetstorm.
I saw Jetstorm.
But in continuing on, Megatron just coming in and he because once he finds out that Sentinel betrayed the Primes, and
That's his
feels
breaking
ballistic.
point. That's his breaking
it
point.
really just changes him a little. Like it's not subtle, but
He
like
finds out that literally every single day of his life means
nothing.
absolutely nothing because all of the energon that they had been mining, he was all about like the rules. He wanted to like go up in the world. He was like he didn't want to do any of the rebellious stuff that Orion Pax wanted to do the entire movie. He was the foil in that way. But as soon as he finds out that all like everything he believed in
He takes
was sort
over.
of just like he was lied to and
Yeah.
just everything was a lie basically. It's his breaking point.
And true
that's kind of
Megatron-
what causes like the whole shift in his personality is like he starts acting real sus after he finds out.
Yeah, like he immediately takes the thing from Optimus, puts it on him. He's like, all right, I'm leading this.
In
Well,
true
that's
Megatron
like-
fashion, he is the only Transformer that he can trust.
Yeah.
He cannot trust anybody else, and that's the switch that happens. He realizes
He
cannot
literally
trust
says that.
anybody.
He says the only one I can trust. The only
He
body.
gets cut off, but that's what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the the change in the dynamic between him and Orion Pax at that point.
Well, it's
Which
it's
that's what I
crazy
am-
because he tries so hard to kill. Like at the end of the movie, Megatron he tries incredibly hard to just kill Sentinel Prime. And Orion Pax is like, please, like, don't.
Yeah.
So he like stops him, and then he jumps in front of his blast, and then gets half his.
Genuinely surprised me. I was like shocked when that happened.
Mhm.
And then Megatron just letting him fall.
Well, at first he was like, Orion, and then he was like,
He's like, I'm tired. I'm done
tired.
saving. And I thought that was one moment I thought was a little like.
I liked it though.
It's
Cause
just
that was
the,
like-
it's
that was
the
his
fact that
moment
they've
to
been
just- to
best
just-
friends for like centuries at that.
But
point.
that's
Centuries,
that's
for a
exactly
long
what
time,
shows.
since they were born.
That's the thing that shows his fall into like his like after that point
And
you're like
it's
okay.
It's kind of symbolic because Optimus is falling, but Megatron, like literally, but Megatron is falling, kind of to the
Like,
dark side. You know. At the end of this movie, Prime he's on top. Like this.
Oh yeah.
He's
Fighting
It
Shockwave,
was a-
Soundwave, Starscream,
They-
Megatron, like everybody. He was fighting like
It
all
was-
the big names.
When one person gets a little bit higher, the other person jumps like twice as much, and then it happens again.
That's kind of what happened. Well, because like I feel like during the fight, it started Megatron. Even when Optimus was Prime, it was like Megatron Optimus, but it was just slowly going up. You know,
Because Optimus was getting used to his new body.
he was getting used to it, and then he started just.
Dog walking him.
You can tell that Megatron's the only one who can hold the candle to Optimus right now.
Yeah.
The way he
Most
did
definitely.
Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream.
That was
Like
crazy.
quite genuinely, like they didn't even stand a chance, and they were all coming at like the same time, and he
Yeah.
was just holding all of them off.
That's
He was technically just dogging all four of them at the same time.
I feel like Megatron was putting up a way better fight. We'd have to watch it
Megatron was
again.
definitely putting up a
We've only
better
seen it
fight,
once so far.
but I mean, like Optimus had him though. Like
yeah, Optimus.
he
won.
had him.
I mean, it was Optimus versus Decepticon.
Yeah.
They did a really cool thing with his axe
Because
where
nobody else
it's
had a chance.
not just a melee weapon. He can like throw like a
It's-
boomerang with it.
Yeah, that was sick. And Megatron, it seems like Megatron's second cannon was weaker, but it's just because Orion
Optimus
Pax
has-
became a prime. It was like the G1 movie when Optimus comes in and just, you guys know he doesn't, but you guys know.
Like we've already basically said it, but the transition, it's what makes this movie.
Yes.
Like that's I feel like that's why they only give you 4. It's just because like if they really wanted to dive deep
They
into
really needed to
those-
focus on those
yeah.
two. You
So
know?
I feel like in the other movies they can introduce the rest. Like I mean they introduce them,
but they can be characters.
but they can be more fleshed out.
And I'm sure
because-
that's what's gonna happen.
I already made this like comparison, but it really just feels on the level of like Revenge of the Sith in terms of just like how good it is and how the trend, how
like
how
the
they just
fall.
diverge the
Yeah.
fall,
Mhm.
and they are very similar, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's probably the best part about Revenge of the Sith is how well they did it. In this movie, I feel like they did very well.
I feel like it'll definitely be like one of those stories that like we remember.
I'm seeing this movie again when it comes out.
Easily gonna see it multiple times in theaters.
It was genuinely that good.
It was
recency bias, of course, but it is my favorite Transformers movie.
definitely favorite Transformers movie for me as well.
The cool thing, like this movie, you can tell, like if they make another one, the fights there's gonna be more fights because every fight in this movie was really good. There just wasn't a lot.
It's more than just like action.
It's
kind
more
of,
than
it's-
meets the
I
eye.
feel like it's,
Basically, the movie's really good. We definitely recommend anyone watching us to see it.
definitely go see it.
Definitely support
Please
the movie
go
so we
see
can
it.
get more Transformers, toys, movies, shows, games.
Yeah, watch the spoiler-free part and then go watch the movie and then come watch the spoiler part of the video. I feel like
We'll put that back.
yeah.
Do that.
Please do, because
We'd appreciate it.
we would appreciate that. We have more Transformers figures on the way, more videos on the way, more streams, more Jalen and Gabe and Kellan also. So, if you guys just,
I feel like the Curtis to your Drew and Danny. I feel like a swamp.
I mean they're a pretty solid trio. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you guys at all, like this video or if you enjoy Transformers, perfect channel for you to be at. So subscribe for more stuff like this. Probably
We're
more
just
movie
Transformers
reviews.
now.
It really is that at this
for
point.
the past
2 weeks.
For the past 2 weeks, we've been Transformers YouTubers. Not necessarily exclusive to that, but it's
we
definitely
played Wukong for 30 minutes and went to Transformers.
well, that's just the phase we're in right now. But But yeah, we do all types of stuff really. I mean, we just play games and just enjoy nerd culture. So if that sounds like something you guys like, please do subscribe. Jalen and Gabe, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. And we do appreciate you guys watching this video. And
Peace out.
catch you next time.